Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to show you our newest of our simple, effective, easy strategies, the high five. And we broke it down and we changed it and we even made it better than ever. Do you want to try the Newsbeat live room for free? I got great news for you. There's a link right in the description. Our precise daily stock levels, our game plan in Forex, as well as our full stock analysis. I am Mark Melnick. This is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. So here we are big fighters of all the BS strategies out there. I call them fake. You know what? With hashtag fake news being the new big thing, how about we call it hashtag fake strategies? Strategies that people will tell you, but it comes with no substance, no things. You know what it's like? It's like going to a diner with some of these strategies, and it's like, can I have a meal? And it's like, yes, we're going to give you a meal. And it's like, okay, what is it? And the waiter waitress responds to you, you're gonna really love this meal. You're gonna love it. Okay, yeah, what is it? No, I can't tell you that. I could tell you what it is. It has meat in it. Okay, what kind of meat? What is it? I can't tell you. That's the type of fake BS strategies out there because the strategies that are being offered to you in the community are not only ineffective, not consistent, and have a million other parameters around them that can't be done. So what I do is I take these strategies and I run hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours back testing, looking, correcting, fixing, updating, tweaking, updating, tweaking, updating, tweaking. Repeat that 15 times, and then I come to you with a strategy after it's fully back test. I have my own P&L to prove it because I do a lot of these strategies, but I don't talk about it. You see, the problem with most traders is they do a lot of things and they'll say, here's my, they'll show you an educational course, but they're doing 100 other things outside that educational course if they're making money. And the proof is when you have an educational course that is years old, 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, and somebody is doing nothing else but what's on that educational video, you're going to lose money 99.9% of the time. And the reason is because that strategy didn't actually evolve and update with the market. So the strategies that I'm bringing you work today, work yesterday, work this year. I don't know if it worked 5 years ago. I didn't even backtest. And you know what? I don't really care if it worked 5 years ago. I don't care if this strategy worked 0% of the time 5 years ago, which obviously would have made it the most amazing strategy in the world because you do the opposite and you make money 100% of the time. But this strategy works today. I pride myself on bringing you strategies that work today. So I wanted to bring you more. So many of you guys loved the one and done strategy. It was one of the methodologies. You could see us explain it on another video. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring you an updated version of the high five strategy, something that you could do that can make you money consistently, very easily, very effectively. That is my goal. That is my goal. So I added some more parameters to it to increase its effectiveness. And what I did was I got something here. We're going to talk to you about the high five strategies. It's the C strategies, which we call simple, effective, and easy. And look, our traders are making real money off these strategies. I know every time, look, there's a red flag raised. Mark, as soon as you tell me there's an easy way to make money in the market, my BS radar is like beep, 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 and it starts going off like crazy because, you could smell it a mile away. You've been there. I've been there. I've been a trader for 19 years. I'm not here to waste your time. I respect my time more than anything else in the world because it's my most valuable asset. And as a result, I respect your time more than anything else in the world because it is your most valuable asset. Whether or not you believe it or not, it is your most valuable asset. I'm not here to waste your time. Let's make us some real money. Let's do it right now. We're going to talk about the new high five strategy. I know I went ahead. I know that talked about it on a prior video. This is an updated version of the high five strategy. It's a bit more in depth. And what we do are the rules for the methodology. Now, listen, unless you could follow all the rules, You cannot do this strategy. I don't want to hear your BS about you did one, two, three, but not four, five, six, or whatever. A lot of people do that. A lot of people try to be smarter. And what I'm telling you, it's actually good to try to be smarter because a lot of people will take these strategies and they'll add a parameter that I'm not adding. Like they'll be like, well, I'm looking for a certain Fibonacci retracement level when that happens. And if you do that, Mark, your strategy will work 3% more of the time. I made that up, but you get the picture. Trying to be smarter is fine, but if you do something different and it lowers the consistency rate, it's not because the strategy isn't working, it's because you changed something. Now, if you're doing the strategy exactly the way it's supposed to be done, I have a very humble belief that you are going to make a lot of money consistently in the market. Making money in the market is easy. Consistently making money in the market, that is always our goal. That is the holy grail for intraday traders because you know, and you know very well, if you don't make money consistently in the market, you're going to suffer from psychological toxicity. And if you suffer from psychological toxicity, you're going to be on a downward slope and you're going to never be able to revisit if you even had any heydays when you first started to begin with. And somebody sent me a very interesting email. Somebody sent me a very interesting email. Um, I'll drop your name, Josh. Joshua sent me an email, and it basically says this. It basically says, when you think something might be true, your brain goes to work to find evidence that supports your theory. When you believe in something, whether it doesn't matter what it is, family, politics, the market, doesn't matter. It's the way your brain works. When you think something might be true, your brain goes your neural connections in your brain scientifically actually go to work to find evidence that supports your theory. This becomes a self reinforcing cycle of belief that is known, that you've heard this term before, I'm sure, called confirmation bias. And it could work positively or negatively. And this is something I've been really trying to say, but it's really summed up beautifully here the way Joshua sent me this thing. And it says most people let their brains run wild, collecting evidence that supports negative beliefs. You must instead direct your focus to find evidence in your life that supports empowering beliefs, ones that enable you to be, do, and have what you want in life. So if you want to, in this case, I'm not telling you how to release your creative flow within and become the Zen master. This is none of that. This is just making money in the market, just making money in the market. So when you're actually doing this, all the stuff, a lot of the things you have learned, myself included, have been really negative to us. A lot of things that people share, a lot of things and strategies that you believe could be true, could end up being very negative to us. How many strategies did you absolutely fall in love with, wanted to try it, kept fighting to make it work, fighting, 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 and then you realize you've been at war with this strategy for years already, years and years and years. You've been at war with this strategy trying to make it work, and you look at your P&L and L and you're like, I lost. Well, guess what? I'm going to change that today. I take that very seriously. I, with anybody's strategy, with myself included, despite all the backtesting, despite the hundreds of emails that I get from you guys, tell me how much you love it, test it, paper trade it if you would like, but convince yourself if see if it's for you. This is a 5 minute strategy. So everything that you see here is on a 5 minute chart. Step number one, the beginning of the back test. Choose a name with positive or negative news on the Newsbeat live morning game plan. Yes, so when I did this back test, it had to do with every single name I have given you since January 1st, 2018, from the Newsbeat live morning game plan. Newsbeat live morning game plan is very simple. We give it to you every day in the pre market. I'm actually trying to think how many of you guys would be interested who are not in the room. How many of you guys would be interested in a service that sends this to you and allows you to help you make money in minutes? Just help you make money in minutes by just having this very detailed list at your fingertips and having it texted to you, for example. I would love a product that does that. I'm thinking of introducing it. I have to talk to T3 about it, obviously, but it's definitely something that'll make you money. So what I do is every pre-market, these are the names from Friday morning. I take these names and I apply the strategy in which I'm showing you to these names. All right. let's go into what you do to make this money consistently. You choose a name with positive or negative news. If it's positive, you have to, I'll explain. You have to look for a long, and if it's negative, you're looking for a short. That's the only discrepancy, obvious discrepancy. I'm making it as easy for you as possible. Step two, your stock must open and gap up for upgraded names above the 5-minute 8 exponential moving average. The stock also must gap down below this level on downgraded names. So, for example, just to make it easy, and you can rewatch this video, I highly suggest you do, because the strategy is just money in the bank. This strategy here is just straight up money in the bank. Your high five broken down, where, what? Yeah, right here. So these are three upgrades, meaning you are looking to go long all these three names if they gap up above the exponential 8. These automatically become candidates. So for Newsbeat upgrade names, number 3, you're ignoring number 4 because there's no downgrade names. So you're actually just doing step number 3. And it says for Newsbeat upgraded names, after the first 5-minute bar tests the 8 EMA and closes, you are looking for the stock to break out of the top of the very next 5-minute candle that's willing to break up. And this only works for the first time of the day. I'll explain it. So why don't I just take it to the chart? So we remember I promised you I said I would go over the one and done strategy. I would go over the one and done strategy on Friday. So just to be perfectly clear, I did the one and done strategy on Facebook. I actually said that in the pre-market before the market even opened. The one I'm focusing on for the one and done because again, I like making money as easy as possible. So if you remember the one and done strategy, we're looking for the first break of the first 1-minute candle for a long. Here's Facebook. Here's the first 1-minute bar. Whoops, that's a 5-minute. Let me go take you. I was focusing on the wrong one. Okay. Here's the 1-minute. Falls in. See the top here of 209.18? The top right there? That is very important to know. So right here you have the top, $209.18. You need to break 209.18 to go long. Didn't happen. The next bar, put in a high of 209.02. Didn't break 209.18. Next bar needs to break 209.02. You're looking for the first 1-minute bar break on the names I'm giving. Obviously, again, um, I really try to make this as easy as possible. This is what it looked like in the pre-market. I didn't add those words in right before we started talking tonight. And yes, the 400 people in the room obviously know that. So looking right here, I'm going long through 209.02. Immediately you hit 209.33, and when you go long through 209.02, you have a stop at 208.50, the low of the day. That's what the strategy states. So if you go long through 209.02, where's your stop mark? You have a 52-cent stop. Maybe it flushed up. Maybe you have a 55, a 57, a 58-cent stop. Doesn't matter. You have to buy through the top of the bar here. 209.02. Facebook is a relatively tight name. Yes, it can move crazy at times, but generally there's a 1-2 penny spread in Facebook. So we're dealing with a very tight name here. It's not like I'm not giving you like priceline.com over here. So here's 209.02. You buy through that level, it pops up. Day was already over for me right here on these few bars. I didn't end up holding it. I sold it 2 minutes later. I was like, okay, my calls went up. What was it, like 20% in 2 minutes? I was like, 20% of my money, 2 minutes? Thank you. Whose hand do I have to shake? Stock then pulls down to 208.88, meaning after you bought through this 209.02, the stock went against you 14 cents. After going with you for almost 50 cents, if you decided to hold, which some people did, I didn't, and I want to show you what it looked like. So it pulled back and then lifted all the way up. Wouldn't you argue that is just such a phenomenal money play? Can you make money off that? Is that something that you would like to make money off of? When I showed you you make money 8 out of 10 times or better with this strategy, all of a sudden it really should spark something in your head that this is something we have to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it a step further and we're going to apply it now to the 5-minute strategy. the 5 minute strategy, the high five strategy, in which we were watching. So, as the high five strategy states, has to has to have positive or negative news on the Newsbeat Live Morning Game Plan. Right here's the Newsbeat Live Morning Game Plan. Number two, Facebook upgrade. Okay, Facebook is a potential. Number two, the stock must open and gap up above the 5 minute ADMA. This is where I'm explaining it to you. You see this little corny yellow line on my chart? This little yellow line right here where it says exponential 8 moving average. This yellow line. This is where it opened today. You see it opened above? That's it. You're set. Strategy done. So you opened up above the ADMA. So already we have number one and number two is already successful. Now, three and four, it's either upgrade or downgrade. So in this case, it's an upgrade. So after the first 5 minute bar, test the ADMA for the first time only and closes. Look for the stock to break out of the top of the very next 5 minute candle. The very next 5 minute candle is any candle that breaks out in the future after testing the ADMA. So here's the 5 minute. You can see right over here, we actually tested it. Then it pulled back here, pulled down, popped up. You're long. You're long through this right here. How nice is that? How nice is that? And you have a stop super duper tight. Look at that. Look at that. You broke down, you close, you're looking for the breakout on a 5 minute. Look at that. You went from 209.83 to 211.50. You went up $1.67 in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes of Facebook. Number 5 says on the upgrade names, if it breaks it, simply buy in or short in. Set a simple stop below the candlestick you chose to buy through. Take your profits. Happy trading, make money. This strategy works 72.9% of the time. So without singling out Facebook, which was obviously my favorite name, as I did clearly do it, let's look at Amazon and see if this would have worked on our 5 minute strategy because I'm not cherry picking. I'm showing you every name. You know what I'll do tomorrow? You know what I'm going to do for you guys tomorrow? Every name that I give in the pre market, I'm going to put on this 5 minute test. So let's not talk about no Captain Hindsight stuff here. No, this is the stock you could have watched today. Does that sound familiar? Hope it doesn't sound like me. Could you drop like 20 people you know who broadcast that fit in that bubble? I'm sure you can name one. So let's look at Amazon. So why Amazon? Because Amazon was upgraded. All right, question. Here's where Amazon opened. Did it open above this yellow exponential 8 line? Yes. Okay. Very simple. Step number two. Step number one, was it positive positive news on the Newsbeat Live Morning Game Plan? Obviously, it's right over there, Amazon. So yes, we also have number two, the stock gapped up above the 8 exponential 8. Now we're looking for the first test of the exponential 8 on the 5 minute. And that happens right over here at 10:25 a.m. That's when Amazon decided to actually hit that level. Look, Amazon went from low 1821 to 1834. What I'm saying is you missed that entire $13 doing my strategy if that was the only strategy you're doing. So right over here, we test the exponential 8 for the first time, and then this bar closes. So what you're looking for at this point forward is you're looking for the break of 1831, which is, it might be hard to see in the top left. That's the top of the 10:20 to 10:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time 5 minute candle. So as soon as you break 1831, you could buy through 1831 if that candle breaks and set a stop at 1828.45. In English, you have a $2.55 risk on Amazon, which is nothing. Did you hit a home run following this? Following me on this? No. But if you bought through 1831, you had to move to 1834.84. Now, again, $3.84 doesn't sound like the biggest move in the world. And if you held it, you would have gotten stopped out. Doesn't sound like $3.80 is the biggest move in the world. But when you're risking $2.55, you're making about 50% more than what you risk. So this is obviously successful because as you bought through there, the stock held up through your stop for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. Now, a lot of you must be watching this and you're thinking, Mark, what is the mathematics behind taking profits? The truth is, I don't have that for you. That's the truth. The truth is, I really don't care if you made $1 in Amazon, but Amazon $1, don't trade it if you don't like it. Amazon $2, that's not a lot, but you're risking $2.55. So making $2 is not exactly bad. It's a very doable strategy. And at the same token, on the flip side, even a Facebook here, which some of you guys traded really well on the 5 minute, if you brought it here through 209.83 and got 7 green bars in a row going up to 211.50, I'm not saying you sold to 11.50. Maybe you sold 50 cents higher, 60 cents higher, 70 cents, $1 higher. I'm not saying you caught the whole $1.70. Maybe you made 30 cents. I don't know your risk. See, here's the problem. Everyone has a different risk reward profile. Everyone. So for me to say this is where you have to exit, this is where you have to enter is not fair because there are people who have different risk reward profiles. On the live broadcast, I always tell you where I enter, I always tell you where I exit. In hindsight, they're great exits. In hindsight, I should have held because it would have exploded much higher. But everybody has a different risk reward profile. My goal with this, if you want to know my goal, is not to teach you how you could catch $1.70 as opposed to 80 cents, for example. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to put you in a profitable position right away in a short amount of time. I'm trying to put you in a position where you could look at your P&L and say, okay, after one, two candlesticks here, I'm up money. Maybe after even the same candlestick you bought on, I'm up money right away. My P&L is green. How many of you enter a position your P&L is red right away? Come on. I mean, I'm. This is me actually not telling the truth. That used to be me. How many of you guys open up a position your just P&L's just red? What if you opened up the position and it was green right away? Even if it hovered red and back green, what if it was green right away? How much would that be worth to you? To some people, like you don't think it matters. But if you understood the psychological toxicity behind buying a name and always being down every time you buy it, or the vast majority of the times, you are damaging your career as a trader. See, what you don't understand is I'm trying to keep you healthy here. I'm trying to do non-genetically modified, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, allergen-free, all these things for you with these setups because what I'm actually doing is I am preserving your life as a trader. You might not notice it. It comes very subtly. It's like a little pinprick and you don't even know where it came from. But what I'm actually doing is I'm actually saving your career as a trader. There's a reason why I've been here 19 years being an active trader. There are many traders with more experience than me, and I respect that. And there are many traders in the industry that were broadcasting with not many, but some of them with more experience than me. And I look back at a lot of them, and they're not really broadcasters anymore, and they're not really traders anymore. Some of them are either traders and not really broadcasters, and some of them are broadcasters and not really traders. So for me, I can show you my game plan tomorrow morning, and you'll know exactly where I'm buying tomorrow. Whatever name I give you on my game plan, you'll know my 1 minute strategy, you'll know the high five strategy. That is the importance of what we're trying to do here. I am trying to create something huge. Now, if you want to see me do these trades in real time for free, there's a link in the description. We have our open house starting tomorrow. It's free. Definitely take advantage of it. It's a money room, guys. We make money. We cut out all the BS. We're here to make money. Now, just as a heads up, inside this room, I am going to be a lot more talkative than I normally am. I probably talk 10 times more on an open house than I do normally. Generally, I shut up and I only ask if you guys need help with any stocks or I'm entering a stock here or guys, I'm watching Facebook here. If it breaks this level, I'm going to market order inside these options or I'm going to market order some common stock over here. Okay, I'm watching it. My finger's on the button. All right, it broke. I bought it, guys. That's what it sounds like normally. But I know with an open house, I'll be answering a lot of questions. And again, much love, and I just want to thank the entire community of the Newsbeat Live Room who puts up with this and helps people out during their own trading day and tries to help people and answer questions that seem obvious. So I actually just wanted to show you what to expect from your free open house tomorrow as well. Right over here. Please use Google Chrome for best results. Audio starts at 9 o'clock a.m. We are there earlier. I start answering your questions between 9:15 to 9:25. Real-time calls on stocks I'm purchasing or selling with extremely high win rates. Great risk rewards every time. Not a lot of talk. I only speak when pertinent information is to be disclosed. Number 5 may or may not be true tomorrow because I might have to help a lot of people get certain things answered, but I'll always answer your technical and fundamental questions throughout the entire day. Okay, so again, Amazon worked. How about Google? Did Google work? Did Google work? 'Cause notice, like, you think I'm trying to hide something. Google upgrade. All right, let's look at Google. Now, Google, let me just delete these trend lines. Now, Google opened up over here. Opened up over here. So this one was already slamming against the exponential 8, and this one automatically became invalid. Automatically became invalid. I wouldn't have traded this. However, if you did, you bought through 120104, you are immediately up $4 in the stock and you could have made money on it. But considering that you're opening up on the exponential, I want to open up. One thing I didn't mention, I want to open up and close above the exponentially on the first bar, which you didn't do in Google. So even though maybe you could have done Google and it would have worked, I wouldn't have done Google here because I like, I don't know if I mentioned, I wanted to see the stock close above the exponentially on the first bar without hitting it, like what Facebook did, like what Amazon did here. But you see Google, how it's like one big hot mess. Like, what the heck is that? I would have personally ignored it. If you did buy through here and held it, you could have caught, a really sexy $10 move in the first hour and a half, or $4 immediately with your stop never going off. I get that. I just want to point out I would have ignored Google, and I do not include Google statistically on my list, despite the fact that it would have worked. So again, there's no exact science for take profits. If I was coding an algorithm, just to give you the thought process behind the exit, the entry is very algorithmically programmable. Now, maybe some of you guys are going to reach out to me and tell me, but the truth is, when you're dealing with an exit, you have to take around sometimes 150 to 200 lines of code to actually set the what if scenarios. Well, if the Qs didn't drop 0.01% or more in the past 15 seconds, then hold here. If it did, start tightening the entry. Now, what does the tightening the entry look like? And it gets like really complex. So what I'm actually doing is these strategies are designed for humans, which is great news considering that you are born human, because these strategies are meant to be human effective. Because I got a good question the other day from a member Gilbert, just answering his question. Well, how did you come up with the number? Like in this case, he was talking about the one and done strategy, the 83%. But in this case, how did you come up with 72.9%? In all fairness, in all honesty, I looked at all the trades that would have befit these parameters, and I said, this is something that I could have made money off of. Honestly, that's how I do it. Then what I realized is when I start applying the strategy, my numbers are actually a lot higher. So like right over here, for example, on the one and done, my one and done, I actually made, for some reason, I'm actually making money over 90% of the time on it. Does anybody in the room actually notice that thing as well? That you're actually making, the potential for more money? If you follow the rules and you set your stops in correctly and you set your take profits in quickly, you'll actually notice it. Well, I'm actually noticing that I'm making money a lot more often. Like, so for example, I back tested, I'll explain it. So you notice, so like right here, 72.9% effective. I went over my own results. I went over my own results on this 5-minute strategy, and I have 83.6. So when I do this strategy, I'm actually right 83.6% of the time. But when I back test it on everything, good, bad, ugly, things that I didn't trade. So for example, like another perfect example is I didn't trade one share or one contract of Amazon or Google on Friday. I was playing around with Facebook. We had a good time, definitely going out for a second date. But like when I actually look at the names I I traded, I'm actually like way higher. And these are trades that I'm calling out in real time. So I'm considering that a good thing. So when I'm actually giving you these numbers of 72.9%, those are the most pessimistic, bland computer numbers, not human numbers. The human numbers are a lot higher. The computer numbers are lower. So I wanted to tell you that the strategy you'll probably notice following the rules that you're actually right more than 72% of the time. And I could see that you guys also see things like that as well. So again, very simple. Choose a name. If you're signing in on this late, I'm gonna be doing this strategy. Guess what? Tomorrow. You know when else? Day after that. Day after that. Day after that. Day after that. I'm gonna be doing this strategy for the entire open house. You want to know what other strategy I'm going to do for the entire open house? Watch the prior Newsbeat live video. Watch the one and done. It's an extremely effective strategy. That 83.1% again is robot numbers. That's going through every single one of my names. The truth is, I have a game plan. I could have 7 names. I might trade one of them, 2 of them, 3 of them. What do you think? What is this, Pokemon? You think I'm here to catch them all? I'm not here to catch them all. I'm trying to catch the ones that make the most sense to me, and I'm trying to give people enough of a variety where these things could work for them as well as possible. So just keep in mind, my human numbers are actually like phenomenally higher than these computer numbers off the back test. So I do want to point that out as well. Um, if sugarcoating something is supposed to make it look better, I guess I'm like pouring lemon juice all over this to make it more sour. I don't know, but the damn thing works. And again, the consistency, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. So if you want to see me do this in real time, if you don't want to see me do this in real time, you just want to take the value for yourself, trade and make money, God bless you. I'm rooting for you. If I didn't feel that way, I couldn't do this. So we do have our open house tomorrow. I'm going to be sharing everything. Again, there's a link in the description. Sign up, 5 days. It's again, it's not really free because you're spending your time with us. And like I said before, that's your most valuable asset. Quite the contrary, I'm asking you for the most expensive thing you own. And it's not your credit card information, it's your time. And if you dedicate that time, and intraday trading is something that you want to do, and maybe you want to trade for just the first 30 minutes and then go to your other job, which you think is your primary job, but believe me, after you see the money you can make in the market, it'll be your secondary job. Maybe that's you. These two strategies are perfect. And what I really wanted to do on this open house is show you that you can make a lot of money very early in the market. That if you trade early and you're using the right consistency and the right strategies, um, I humbly believe that you could be extremely successful. I humbly believe that if you go with somebody who puts in the work, effort, time, sweat, hours that I do, I didn't wake up and figure out these strategies one day. I've been doing this for 19 years, and I spent time doing the back test and doing all these things. And even though I didn't eat dinner tonight, and even though I had to drive speeding through the rain to get my dog's medication from a vet hospital here, I'm here with you sharing these strategies with you now because I care and I love you guys as if you were my family. And that's the only reason why I could do something like this. So, with that being said, precise daily stock levels right over here. You're more than welcome to copy everything that you see here, take advantage of everything that you see here. Here are my algorithmic trendline levels for all these names. Feel free to come back, feel free to screenshot. It's all there for you. Do you want to see my Forex names? Guess what? Not a lot of names recently. I get it. My Forex trades have been recently on fire. It's crazy. First, I was like super duper on fire. Then, like, I hit this cold stretch and now I'm on fire again. I'm always making money, overall consistently, but um, I've been on a hot streak recently. Again, after, snapping a cold streak like what is that, a month ago, month and a half ago? Like I'm just winning, 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 winning. It's sick. So right here, buy limit on Euro Swedish krona, um, 4 standard lots, no sugar coating, no nothing. Here's exactly where I'm bidding on the stock right now. It's not even close to here yet. Well, it's not too far, but it's right over here, 10.33950. If I get filled and I am wrong, this is where it gets stopped out. If I get filled and I am right, here's where I'm taking my profits. Very simple, very open, all in front of your face. Take advantage of it in any and every way that you wish. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, though that was our did I oh, I didn't show you my game plan. I didn't show you my game plan, did I? Just real simple. Cliff, bullish trigger here. Charlie, Larry, Frank. That CLF popped up beautifully on earnings. A little $3 billion company this time, so it's not. I don't consider it a little crapper name. Cliff is actually pretty, not the biggest, but not smallest either. Um, Popped up beautifully on earnings to 1038, pulled back to 996. I am looking for Cliffs to break 1038 tomorrow potentially. And again, unless there's an upgrade or a lot of volume, I probably ignore it. A lot of these names you see on my game plan that I give you now, this is a game plan before I see the news tomorrow morning. And the reason why I do it is because not all of you are members of the Newsbeat Live Room, and I respect that. And I'm trying to bring you as much as I can, whether you're part of the service or not. That's why I share these strategies with you and everything. That's why I do everything that I do for you. I know that there's a successful trader in everyone. I know that everyone could do it. I'm a college dropout. I have a high school diploma. I can do it. I'm not the sharpest tool in the drawer, but I do put in the work and I do put in the effort, and that will outshine any form of intelligence. I mean, that's out there. Believe me, the most successful traders aren't the most intelligent traders, but the most intelligent traders who put in the work, those are the traders who those traders just go off. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the high five strategy. Make sure you rewatch this video. If you have any questions, guess what? Leave them in the comment section. I'll come back later and answer them for you. We do have our open house tomorrow. There's a link in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed the Newsbeat show. We're the fastest growing trading room in the nation. Happy trading, make money. We'll see you guys next time on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful, blessed evening.